Looking at this December's housing market report, San Antonio is clearly in a balanced market. We have much higher inventory, we have longer days on the market, and home prices have basically flattened out. But the number one question that I'm hearing right now is, what does this all mean for 2026? And if I had to sum it up with one key phrase, I would call it cautious optimism. Today, we're going to break down several different key points in the San Antonio housing market report that point to where that cautious optimism is coming from. I'm Krishna Perkins. I'm a real estate broker here in San Antonio, and I've been bringing buyers and sellers together in the home buying process since 2007. Stick with me here for the next few minutes, and I'm going to break it all down for you. Okay, first up, I want to share several national level slides with you, and just to give you an overview of what's happening throughout the entire country, and then get us into the San Antonio housing market data. And first up is what's happening with the share of first-time home buyers. And as you can see, first-time home buyers have had just the roller coaster over the years, but ever since the Great Recession, 2007, 2009, we've seen a steady decline. And I believe that was really accelerated here during the COVID era. And we're now down to 21% market share for first-time home buyers. And that's a big buzz right now. There's a lot going on trying to address that situation. And hopefully a clear path to helping first-time home buyers is going to be presented sooner rather than later. Now, shifting gears to homes for sale, we're starting to see a lot more inventory. Homes for sale here, this is via realtor.com. And throughout 2025, as you can see, we've seen a steady uptick in inventory. Okay, homes for sale has increased just about every month, and all the way up until October here, we've been on a steady increase in actual homes on the market. These are your active listings that haven't been sold yet. So there's a lot more selection out there on the open market than there was before. So this is good news for home buyers that have been sitting on the sidelines, that have been wondering what they're going to do about inventory. Well, inventory is back on the market and it's ready. Now, it may not be priced appropriately, but it is there. And those that are taking action in the housing market are beginning to see deals come together. Okay. Next up is how fast homes are selling. Okay. Homes are now selling at a more normal pace. If you look at this again from realtor.com, since 2016. Okay, in 2016, it took about 72 days for a home to get sold. 2017, 68 days. 2018, 64 days. So we were already accelerating the rate at which homes were selling before the pandemic. And then, of course, pandemic came in, and we had a massive acceleration in how quickly homes would sell. Now, fast forward with the rate increases, mortgage rates, you can see that has really backed off. And now, sitting here in 2025, homes are taking on a national median 63 days in the market. So your typical home nationally is selling in about 63 days. Next up, mortgage rates. And this is really key to everything that we just talked about. Mortgage rates are trending down. They're not falling at a rapid rate. And I think that is key. No one really wants these mortgage rates to fall too rapidly. Rather, they want to incrementally lower the rates to keep the economy going. But mortgage rates are trending down. They've been trending down all throughout 2025 for the past about 12 months. We're sitting at around 6.25 or somewhere around there. And this week, hopefully we'll see a rate decrease at the Fed level that will help us out in the housing market as well. And then mortgage payments, okay, hand in hand with interest rates. Again, mortgage rates are slowly coming down. Monthly mortgage payments are trending down. Here we are In May 2025, the typical mortgage median mortgage payment was around $2,800, $2,900. And now we're sitting here almost $400 median mortgage rate, almost $400 cheaper than it was at the beginning of the year. Maybe that helps you, maybe it doesn't, but it is progress in the right direction. So with mortgage rates coming down, interest rates coming down, and inventory coming up, things could look better, okay? Optimistically, just with a grain of salt there, optimistically looking better towards the year 2026 in the housing market. Now shifting back home here to San Antonio and the housing market numbers here locally, we're looking at just being right inside that balanced market range. It comes out to about 5.25 months worth of inventory. So what that means, if we didn't list another home here in San Antonio, it would take about 5 months, just over 5 months, to sell all those homes. And as you can see, we're down 1.49% month over month, which is to be expected. This is the holiday season, the winter season, and folks tend to not put as many homes on the market. We're back to that seasonality thing here. So not as much inventory coming on the market here at this time. 97% sold price to list price ratio. That still favors a seller quite a bit. So that means if you're priced correctly, you have a great chance of being almost 100% of your list price, depending on where you have it marketed. Now, that doesn't include any concessions or any of those fees or anything like that, but your contract price to sold price or list price ratio is 97%. Now, that is down about 6.1% month over month, so a little bit more negotiating there this last month in November. The typical days on the market, very close to that national median days on the market of 63 days. This one here in San Antonio is 61 days. That is up about 13%. So it did take a leap in how long it's taking to get homes under contract and sold. The typical sold price in San Antonio right now sitting at $292,676. That is the typical sales price right now in San Antonio. Now, with this next one here, median estimated property value, I did want to spend a little bit of time here explaining this one because I think it can give you some unique insights into what's next with the housing market. I don't usually go into detail on this slide in particular, but I wanted to show you this because I did study a little bit more before shooting the video. Now, we're looking here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're looking here, so right about in this area right here, we're looking, the blue line is San Antonio, the orange line is Bexar County, and the yellow line is Texas, and then we have the rest of the United States. Now, right around in this area here is when we started seeing rate hikes. This is when all the rate hikes started happening and all throughout this timeline here. And as you can see, the home values got flat right here. That's just under the $300,000 mark. This is about where the rate hike stopped. And this is where the rates remained for a while. And then we saw a dip here in 2024 in home values. And this is about the time when rate cuts started happening. Okay. So we started seeing those rate cuts and we're continuing to see some of those rate cuts, but we're also seeing lower transaction rates and interest rates not quite getting where consumers are confident enough to come back en masse into the market. But we're starting to see the inventory at levels which we just discussed. And we're also seeing that the first-time buyers are not quite ready to come back in the market. So this is just a unique perspective, the housing market. What is your thoughts on what's coming next? Are we going to see a spike in home values? Are we going to see a steady increase in home values? I'm thinking along those lines, a steady increase in home values from now, because we are bringing those interest rate cuts in moderation. And now for new listing data. These are the homes that have just hit the market in November. And the new listings here in November are coming in at about $295,000. That's at 3.5% month over month increase in what the new listings are asking for. But these are also a little bit larger homes, okay? 1,878 square feet is what they're coming in at. That's a 4.4% increase over the previous month. So, and then backing up here, the number of properties being offered for sale, again, down about 28%. So 1,919 properties came in November new listing status. And then the all important active listing status. These are the homes in San Antonio that are on the market. They've been on the market. They're not under contract for various reasons, but the median list price for these homes came in at $299,000. That's right up there, hugging on that $300,000 mark, and really had zero change there. Zero change in the median list price. The number of properties in active listing status came down slightly from 8,779 properties and about 3.4%. I expect that number to cut to drop again at the end of December. A lot of homes that were homeowners that were trying to sell their home usually expire their listings at the end of December. Some do, some don't, but it's very popular at the end of December to have a lot of expired homes. So I expect this number to come down again. The number of days on the market for these properties, looking at about 79 days median, and the size of these properties, 1,857 square feet. And now for new pending listings, these are homes that just finished their inspections, the option period, and they are now pending. They're headed to the closing table. Maybe they have a survey to do, something along those lines, or an appraisal, but these guys are pretty close to the finish line. And they're coming in at a median list price of $291,999. That's up slightly, 2.5% month over month. Again, up slightly in the square footage area there, 1,829 square feet. But overall, the number of properties in the pending status here is still on the decline. Okay, so we're still seeing that pressure from interest rates and uncertainty playing into the number of pending listings that we're seeing in the market. Now, we quite naturally see these dips here. We see a dip in pending listings around this time of year every year, okay? But overall, we're still seeing that trend line come down. Now, how long that's going to last, don't know. Hopefully, we'll see some meaningful play in the interest rates that reverses that. And then finally, sold listings. These are all the homes that sold in the month of November here in San Antonio. And these came in at a median price of $292,676. That is up 4.5% month over month. The number of sold properties is down about 22%, typical for this time of year. As you can see there, again, much like pending listings sold, we have the trend line is down. So we're seeing fewer and fewer homes get actually to the closing table. And that's been going on for about 2 years now. We've seen that happen with lower interest rates coming on the scene. This again, hopefully will reverse itself. 2026 won't be a boom year, but it will be a year of more movement in the housing market, especially for first-time home buyers who were basically frozen out of the housing market for the last few years. So if you're thinking about making a move in 2026 and you just want to hash out what you need to do next to position yourself, you can schedule with me a no hassle, no obligation consultation by texting or calling 210-260-6617. And if you found this video helpful, perhaps you're going to find the next video helpful as well.